F-86 side laser steering the front. So that was the surprise. Everybody saw that big puff of smoke that came out. That's actually designed for that. This airplane has a smoke system in it where there's an extra fuel tank and an extra fuel pump that's sitting in there. And as you slide along, you can turn that on and turn it off to add some more excitement to the show, a smoke trail. So the smoke that we use is a mineral oil-based product. It's commercially available. There's a few different manufacturers, but the manufacturer that Ken likes to use all supplies, tools and equipment, things like that, landing gear, but they supply this oil. And what makes it really special, and if the wind happens to be blowing the right direction, you catch a whiff of it, it's scented like root beer, which makes it sort of fun. But if you spill it in your garage smells like root beer, which this is a lot better than smelling like diesel fuel. So he's lined up on the runway, he's getting ready to go. They're coordinating with the drone pilot. And once he goes, give him a big round of applause when he takes off. Get him motivated because he's going to do some great flying and we're going to talk him through this flight. Back in the day that used to put on good shows just like Ken's putting on for you. The drone pilot followed him down the runway so they got some really good footage for their TV show. And Ken's going to get all set up, make sure the airplane's clean, make sure his landing gear's up and the airplane's called that's clean, and then he's going to put on a good show for us. And you'll notice that he's not standing there by himself. Clark is standing next to him, and every time we fly at an event for sure, and generally just on the weekend, at full speed it probably goes about 160, 170 miles an hour, and right now he's just kind of cruising along. He's going to do a nice parade pass over the runway with the smoke on. Look at how that smoke looks. He's doing a nice, slow parade pass with that slow flying. And the slower he goes, the more dense the smoke is because it's not getting diffused out through the tailpipe. So it makes it especially heavy. And that's what we call at the end of that run, he calls that the pop-up. And we just pop up with a little bit of throttle, and he's going to fall into what we call the regular pattern. And you'll notice we're flying a left-right pattern. We do that because of the wind. You never want to take off and land downwind unless there's an emergency and it's the only position that you can do it in. But it lowers your airspeed effectively so that it makes it easier to take off and land. There's that big pop-up I was talking about. Yeah, now he's fallen into this horizontal figure eight. So he's going what's called out of pattern. When we fly that left to right pattern, we'll do a racetrack pattern that'll be looking from the top, will be counterclockwise. And so you always want to stay in that pattern so all the airplanes are generally flying the same direction. Mid-airs do happen, it's rare, but it does happen. So you want to always kind of stay the same direction because that mitigates stuff down there. You can also see when he's got the angle just right, he's got navigation lights on the airplane, which are functional and they're scale-like. So it's a lot of fun to see that, and it helps. You'll see when he's coming into land that the aircraft sort of disappears behind the horizon, behind the hogback. The ones that are camouflaged make it even worse. The camouflage does its job. Ken's going vertical. He's going to go up in what's called a split S, which is a beautiful big sweeping maneuver. Comes down, brings the airplane at a high rate of speed. He'll get back in the pattern here. And you can see the bottom of the airplane is just as beautiful as the top. To even add scale realism, it has the factory or original drop tanks on it. Now, they don't functionally drop, but they're on there for show. They can be taken off if you want to remove some of the drag, make the airplane a little faster, a little cleaner in the air. Don't do the crazy maneuvers like what Steve was doing with his propeller airplane. However, we will have a treat for you guys later. Chris Sussex, who's our contest director, who putting the show on for everybody so we can enjoy it. He's got a game on the line for it, and he's got an airplane that's called a J-10. It's a scale airplane of a Chinese fighter jet flying it. Ken right now, it looks like he went what's called dirty. He's got the gear down. He'll come around on a gear pass and he'll drop the flaps. And what the flaps and the gear do is they slow the airplane down because they add extra drag. And with the flaps down and the gear down, he's got to add in throttle to keep the speed up so he doesn't get too slow. But he'll come in and do a nice big long sweeping pass. Make sure all the landing gear's down, all three gear are down, and they're locked and they're ready to go. The flaps are down and everything range brakes. And they help slow the airplane down because these airplanes are very fast and they're very difficult to land. Everybody can burn holes in the sky, but it's the takeoff and the landing that separates everybody. And so he's got the flaps down, the speed brakes out, the gear down, and he's coming around for his normal pass. And as you see, like I mentioned, when he drops down below the horizon, for just a moment, the airplane disappears. And then he catches it again, and he's back on it. That's a hazard of this field, but it's well worth it because it's a world-class facility. Came in for a beautiful landing, gonna let it roll out. The airplane has brakes, he'll slow it down, he'll taxi back. Give him a big round of applause. Tell him you appreciate him flying it. We're going to take a quick break. We do need to do a pilots meeting for safety so everybody's on the same page. Do not leave because we've got a whole lot more coming. Don't forget we've got some water underneath the pavilion. The food truck's not open yet, but the food truck guy is here today. So make sure you use him. You have
Talk to me, Ken.
Well, drop tanks are on. Beautiful Saturday morning. Japanese video. What else can I say?
It's all good.
It's 50 degrees.
Cool.